What's up, my optimistic empire? This is Christian Maracle, and it's time to agree or disagree.
Someone help me.
We got quite the opinions here.
'Cause I still feel your hello, hello. I know that I'm living with ghosts.
It's good to see you guys again. This is a new video I'm doing where instead of a Q&A, it's more of agree or disagree. And how this works is I posted on my X account saying give me opinions and I will tell you whether I agree or disagree. How this is going to work is I'm going to read out the opinions and I am going to tell you whether I agree or disagree, and I'll tell you why. Alright, first one's in. Do you think I will hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube? I just started YouTube full time and I am almost at 4,000 subscribers. Well, first off, that's not an opinion, that's a question. But I will say it can qualify as an opinion too, because I agree. I agree you can hit 100,000 subscribers. If you already made it to 4,000, or you're almost at 4,000, well, that's just another step toward getting 100K. That's exactly what it was like for me when I was first getting my subscribers, and in 2016 I hit the 4,000, and then the 5,000, then the 10,000. That's when it started picking up. My point is, you keep on going with what's making you popular. If you want to get to 100K, you got to be consistent, you got to have a lot of structure, and most importantly, you got to make sure that you try out some new things and branch out your content. Because if you want to just do the same thing over and over and say the same things over and over, it eventually is going to get old. You know that because my views have dropped. But it's all good though. Yes, I think you can hit 100,000 subscribers. I agree. The Katie Vick storyline WWE did in 2002 was far more entertaining than the Death Riders are doing in AEW. Honestly, I disagree with that because they're not remotely similar. I would say maybe or maybe not if it was a similar storyline, but it's not. What the Death Riders are doing are nothing compared to what was going on with the Katie Vick storyline, which is still one of the worst storylines in pro wrestling history, so I disagree with that. Drew McIntyre should join forces with The Rock and John Cena. Honestly, I disagree because Drew McIntyre's goal before it seemingly dropped was he wanted to destroy the bloodline, so why would he join up with the final boss of the bloodline? What I really think Drew McIntyre should be doing is going for the World Heavyweight Championship as soon as he's done with Damian Priest, whether that be in Gunther or Jey Uso. And besides, he was sort of feuding with Jey Uso, so if Jey wins the world title at WrestleMania, then there's the feud. Fortnite is severely overrated. It's kind of hard for me to have an opinion on this because I don't play Fortnite. I keep telling some friends I'm going to one day play Fortnite, and I never did. To this very day, I still have not played Fortnite, so I can't exactly say whether or not it's overrated because I've never even tried it. So unfortunately, I cannot say whether I agree or disagree with it being overrated. John Cena still needs a new theme. You know, at first, maybe I would have agreed until I saw John Cena's promo this past Monday night on Raw Netflix. How we don't deserve a new theme, we don't deserve new merchandise, we don't deserve a new version of John Cena, even though we kind of do have one because he's a bad guy. At this point, I disagree. I don't think he needs a new theme song because this is fitting his current character. Maybe if he said something else or was going a different route in the heel character, I would agree. But honestly, I don't think he does. Liv Morgan is the MVP of the last year, been in multiple storylines, used on multiple shows weekly, has had banger matches, and has vastly approved since going heel. Well, first off, I think you meant to say improved, not approved. It's no secret. I'm not a fan of Liv Morgan. Everybody knows that. However, if we want to talk unbiased opinions here, I agree. Liv Morgan is the MVP of 2024 because she returned to the Royal Rumble. She may have lost at Elimination Chamber and did not even compete at WrestleMania 40, but she spent like 7 to 8 months as the Women's World Champion. And even despite the fact that practically all her matches was like a Roman Reigns match when he was World Champion for over 1,300 days, where he just won because of outside interference. Same thing with Liv Morgan. At the same time, Liv Morgan's storylines, trying to destroy Rhea Ripley on the inside, having her by the heart, and creating this new type of story with Dominic Mysterio has really helped her out. Right now, she's Women's Tag Team Champion with Raquel Rodriguez and could very well be in a Women's Tag Team title match at WrestleMania. But honestly, I agree. I'd say Liv Morgan was the MVP of 2024. Football, not soccer. I get the reference. Soccer. The one where you kick the ball, the black and white ball. But in every other country, it's called football. United States of America, they call it soccer because their version of football, American football, involves something that doesn't require your feet. But honestly, this might surprise a few people. I agree. Football, not soccer. Because the rules are only the goalie's allowed to actually touch the ball with their hands, but everybody else can only either use their head, but mostly use their feet. Hence why it's called football. Meanwhile, American football, the only person who ever kicks it is the kicker. Everybody else, it's about grabbing it, holding it, and taking it to the end zone with their hands. That's why I've always found it confusing why it's called football. To me, it's less of a football when only one person ever actually kicks the ball. I don't know, maybe they call it that because it sounds cool. Chelsea Green is a future women's world champion. Based off of how Chelsea Green has been, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. Chelsea Green returned to WWE in 2023, instantly started losing, and instantly started being a Karen on TikTok and a few other things. She then became women's tag team champion with Sonya Deville and then later Piper Niven. And now more recently, she became the inaugural women's United States champion. And she's honestly been doing great with the US title reign that she's in because she's the United States champion. So thus in her mind, she's like the president. So she has a secret service, or as she calls it, She-Crit service, with Piper Niven and Alba Fire. And I really think it's been hilarious. It's been fun. So honestly, I could see her becoming a women's world champion in the future. Right now, I think she's going to stay as United States champion, but yeah, I can see it happen. Pizza Hut has the best pizza. I disagree with that entirely. I've had Pizza Hut. It's good. I won't lie. It's good pizza. But it's not the best pizza. In my opinion, the best pizza is a local pizzeria over here where I live. But I've always liked the local diners or local pizza places compared to the big chain ones. Pizza Hut. Pizza. If anyone doesn't know what that is, that's a pizza joint up here in Canada. I don't know if it's in the US. I don't think I've ever seen one there. But yes, there are some very famous pizza places that are going around the place that you can find in almost every city, town you look at. But they're good pizza. But that doesn't mean they're the best pizza. The reason why I like local diners, local pizza places anytime I want to go somewhere is because it's like trying it in a different fashion. If you go to Pizza Hut in one place, you go to Pizza Hut in another place, and they make it the exact same way. Same thing with burgers. I'm not really much of a burger guy, to be honest. But if you go to Burger King in one place, then you go to Burger King in fucking Florida, you eat the food, and it tastes basically the same as the last place you were at. So that's why anytime I would have a burger or something like that, it would be at a local restaurant, local diner, because they just make it different, and it's a lot more fascinating to me. So I disagree. Pizza Hut does not have the best pizza. Best pizza is from my local pizza joint here in Toronto. Rusev in WWE was way better than Miro in AEW. I agree. I agree completely. Miro had an okay run in AEW. He started off in 2020. And then he became the TNT champion, I believe it was, in 2021. But I never understood his gimmick of being a gamer. There was that one time in AEW where he was obsessed with his arcade machine being broken. And it was just really tough to see him in that role after everything we've seen him in WWE. Rusev in WWE started off as the Bulgarian Brute, then became the Russian Hero with Lana. And that went on for a really good long while, and that was really fun, up until he lost to John Cena at WrestleMania 31. And of course, who can ever forget Rusev Day? Every day is Rusev Day. They really should have gone somewhere with that. Somewhere further than just simply, hey, it's Rusev Day, hey, it's Rusev Day. Definitely should have given him a championship run as Rusev Day, just like they did when he was representing Russia. But overall, yes, he's had a lot more memorable moments as Rusev in WWE than he ever did as Miro in AEW. Def Rebel isn't as bad as everybody claims they are. Okay, now this is a very interesting topic. It's kind of I agree, but I also disagree. Because Def Rebel has had a few good hits. I mean, look at freaking Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and as much as some people disagree with it, I enjoyed AJ Styles' music that he briefly had in 2024. It wasn't as good, obviously, as his original music and the one he recently brought back, But it was still catchy. In my opinion, it was catchy. I enjoyed it. The real problem is Def Rebel has a lot more bad themes than they ever had good themes. Which is why people tend to say that they're as bad as we all claim they are. So I honestly think that I agree they're not as bad, but I also disagree they are that bad. MJF was right when he said that you cannot call yourself a true wrestling fan unless you watch, or at least attempt to watch, all brands, AEW, TNA, even though that says TBA, ROH, and JPW, not just WWE. I completely disagree. MJF is wrong on that count. And so far, anybody who ever says that is wrong. Because they're like, you can't call yourself a wrestling fan if you just watch WWE. It's like saying you can't call yourself a football fan if you just watch the NFL. It's like saying you're not a baseball fan unless you're watching MLB. Point of that is people have preferences. Some people choose not to watch WWE. Some people choose to watch just AEW. Some people choose to just watch Ring of Honor. Some people choose to watch New Japan Pro Wrestling. But they don't watch anything else. Does that make them not a wrestling fan too? No, that is wrong. I'll tell you what, as long as you enjoy something that involves pro wrestling, there's a wrestling ring, there's people telling a story, there's some killer matches, there's some bad matches, but at the end of the day, we watch it because we love it. So watching WWE only does not define you as not a wrestling fan. I completely disagree with that. CM Punk should be the final opponent for John Cena. This is a really tough one because John Cena's retirement is in December of 2025 at a potential Saturday night's main event in Boston, Massachusetts, I've heard. I don't know if it's going to be on that or if it's going to be on the literal last day of the year, but it's tough to agree or disagree about whether or not CM Punk should be the last opponent of John Cena because he's one of Cena's biggest rivals from over the years. I'd like to see possibly a rematch with those guys at either SummerSlam or possibly Money in the Bank, but it's really tough to think who should be the last opponent of John Cena because some people think, should it be a legend? Should it be one of his greatest rivals? Should it be an up-and-coming superstar who's going to be promoted to the top by defeating John Cena or by facing him in his last match? That's why it's tough for me to agree or disagree because all these names are really good candidates. CM Punk, Randy Orton, The Rock, Cody Rhodes. It's really tough to just pick one and think this person should be the last opponent of John Cena. Which is why I'm excited for this retirement tour and how this is going to go for the rest of this year. So for this one, unfortunately, I don't have an answer for you. Austin Theory needs a rebranding. I agree. Austin Theory could definitely use a rebranding. I've seen a lot of things where, he's going to turn face. Or maybe he's going to turn heel on Grayson Waller. There was rumors that they were going to split up before WrestleMania 40, and they ended up winning the SmackDown Tag Team Championships at that event. Then there was reports, they're going to break up after they fight at the NXT Vengeance Day event, and that never happened. And more recently, Austin Theory was squashed by Jey Uso in a 10-second match where both men kinda messed that up. He beat John Cena at WrestleMania 39. He was United States Champion for practically almost the entirety of 2023. Early bits of 2022 as well. Then in 2024, he became tag champs, but then he and Grayson Waller have been mostly just hanging around and losing. So yes, I agree. Austin Theory definitely does need a rebranding. Jey Uso should be the next up to sell his soul to The Rock. I disagree with that completely. Entirely. Jey Uso should not sell his soul to The Rock because that would just be going backwards on the story and the journey that he's been going on lately. Ever since he split from the Bloodline in 2023 and went about and became main event Jey Uso on Monday Night Raw, he's been making more names for himself. He had his match with Jimmy Uso at last year's WrestleMania, which of course could have definitely been way better. Afterwards, he went on, became Intercontinental Champion, even if it was only for a couple of weeks. And then more recently, he won the Royal Rumble. And all this is because of the support of the audience. And now he's going to be facing Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. So this is why I'm like, no, Jey Uso should not sell his soul to The Rock and join up with him and John Cena because that's just going backward on everything he did as main event Jey Uso, and he has no reason to do it. Edge is being ruined in AEW. Don't you mean Adam Copeland or Cope? I'm sorry, I can't take that seriously. I've been calling him Edge for 25 years, long before a lot of my fans were even born. I am not calling him Cope or Adam Copeland in wrestling. I don't think he's being ruined. I mean, he's doing what he wants to do. He wants to face more wrestlers. He wants to be on more of a full-time schedule with the remaining years he has left while he's still young enough to wrestle. But all this is determined by your point of view on what you mean by ruined. Because if you think about it, Edge had no big-time retirement match in 2023 when he faced Sheamus in Toronto on SmackDown. Because it was never labeled as a retirement match, nor was it ever labeled as his last match. It ended up being his last WWE match. But the fact of the matter is, Edge wants to do what Edge wants to do. I don't really like a lot of the things he's been doing. I'm not going to lie. A lot of the things he's been doing, I think it sucks. However, I wouldn't say he's being ruined if this is what he wants. If this is what he wants, then I wouldn't say he's being ruined. Alright, this is the last one, folks. Jey Uso needs to be more serious in this title feud with Gunther. I love Jey, but I want to see the side of him that he opposed Roman with. I would say Jey Uso is serious right here. I mean, sure, he says yeet a lot, and he celebrates with the audience, and honestly, that's okay. That's his thing. But, however, he is taking Gunther seriously because he has faced and lost to Gunther in the past. He knows how deadly he is. The situation he's in is not like 2023 when Cody Rhodes won the Royal Rumble match and was happy-go-lucky all the way up until he lost at WrestleMania. Jey Uso still stands his ground against Gunther anytime these attacks happen and makes sure that everything is going to be alright heading into WrestleMania. More importantly, he says yeet when he's cutting the promos, but when Gunther's right there, you can actually see that serious side that he had when he was facing off with Roman Reigns. What you're saying is you want him to get rid of yeet altogether. And unfortunately, no. The audience loves it so much. The audience buys his merch for it, and it's his thing. So if it's his thing, then he should not get rid of it because of what a few online people say. He's having fun when he does his entrance, and then the game face comes in. As long as he has a game face, then he's fine. Alright folks, that's going to wrap up this video. I really think this is a good idea to do agree or disagree. Because people just put in their opinions, and I let you know whether I agree or disagree with them, and we have a good time. We get to know more about me. I want to do more of these videos where I'm just sitting in front of the camera and just having a good time with you guys, because this is a lot of fun. I'm having a good time with this. I got more content on the way. I hope you guys are enjoying 2025 so far. And as always, remember to think optimistically. Let me know in the comments if you ever want me to do more of these videos.